Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today and a happy new year. It is 2 days away from New Year's. I cannot believe it's going to be 2025. I mean, I feel like 2024 just went by so fast, a little bit too fast. Like it's a little scary. But I guess that's how life goes. The older you get, the faster time flies, right? I mean, that's what I've always heard anyways, and it seems to be true. But nonetheless, it is always fun starting a new year. It's a great time to try new things or start new things or have a New Year's resolution. Always fun, and I wish you all the best in 2025. As for our build for the day, this is in Newcrest, and this is for a single mom of 2 boys, and this is actually a tiny home. So it's not a micro home. It's the tier in between the micro home and the little big home. I can't remember what that one is called, but it's the tiny home. It is the tier with the limit of 64 tiles. I love playing with tiny homes in The Sims 4 because it comes with the different lot traits. I don't know if it's lot traits or what exactly it's called, but it gives you different bonuses that you can play the game with. Like, it allows you to grow your skills a lot faster than if you were in a normal size house, and it has lower bills. I don't know if tiny house has it, but I know the micro house, it allows you to double up in your relationships, and that could be for good or bad. You can make enemies very, very quickly in a tiny house, let me tell you. I have learned that by experience. But that is part of what makes playing in a tiny house so fun, because it has so many different unexpected turn of events, and I just love it. And then it's also, I love having all of my Sims in a close, compact setting or house, you know? I hate playing in a house that's too big, and then you literally lose your Sims. You have to constantly click on them and have the screen go directly to them to even be able to find them. And a tiny house is not like that, okay? You can literally just go upstairs or downstairs and there's your Sim. There's no searching for them. And yeah, it's kind of a pain having to constantly look for your Sim if you're in that large of a house. I'm talking 6+ bedrooms is getting to be a little bit too much for me. Even 5 bedrooms can be too much, but if you have that many Sims in a house, then you do have to do what you have to do. I tried making a tiny house to fit 8 Sims, and I don't know how people can do that. That is very, very hard, very compact. There's not a lot of space even in this house, and there's only 3 Sims that live here. And so I don't know how people can do the 8 Sim tiny houses for a 64 by 64 limit. That is crazy. But let's get into the look of the house a little bit. So as you've seen, I had some of those pine tree looking, not pine tree, I don't know, evergreen trees maybe? They're Christmas tree looking trees. I had those out there at first, and I just was trying to use plants that I don't normally use, and I just couldn't bring myself to use it with this house. It did not fit this house at all. And so I ended up changing it out for trees that I normally use, those tall, skinny, those trees. I always use these trees. They just look the best to me. Those trees and then this oak tree are my favorite trees. I always use them. Sometimes I'll use the blank oak tree, and sometimes I'll use the oak tree with the lanterns on them. I think that's from Movie Hangout, and I absolutely love that tree. So I kind of switched up between those, but for the most part I use about the same landscaping. No matter how hard I try to use different landscaping, it turns out to be about the same. Here are the flowers I use all the time. These are literally the best flowers in the game. They're just big and bushy, and they take up a lot of space, so that works out if you don't want to put a whole bunch of different plants for landscaping. These big bushy flower bushes. I don't know what they're called in the game, but they're in base game, so very easy to find. They have different colors too. The yellow just so happens to be my favorite color of those flowers. They have like pink and they have blue and white. The white is not very vibrant though. The white, like the flowers, like are almost microscopic if you zoom out too far. They're very small. These yellow ones are really nice and vibrant and large, and so I just think it looks really good. I also put some other things outside as well, like some skill building items for the children, but I'll get into that later in the build once we're actually doing outside. For right now, we jumped back inside, and I did have to cut out the floor plan for this build. It was hard for me to do. It's such a small area that I had no idea where I was going to put the bedrooms, and it was just like kind of messy by time I was editing it, and so I ended up I cut that part out. It really wasn't that interesting to see. So I ended up being able to fit 3 bedrooms. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then there's 1 bedroom downstairs, and then there's 2 bathrooms. There's a bathroom downstairs that's more so for the main, like the master bedroom, and then there is a bathroom upstairs that I thought the children would share. As you can see, I have their living room kind of under the staircase, and you're probably thinking, does that couch even work? Trust me, I was wondering the same thing as I was building this. So I brought a sim in that is going to play test this build for us, okay? You will see me throughout the whole build just having my sim there go from room to room and just testing it all out. She is one of my favorite tester sims. I usually use the same ones just because it's easier for me to grab them out of my catalog, like my saved stuff. And so I usually grab her. I think she's like super cute, and she's one of my favorite sims to play test with. And so you'll see her running around this whole build. And this living room, I think, turned out super cute. That's another thing about tiny houses, is that it's such a small area that you can really clutter in the stuff. I mean, you have to be careful to make sure that it all works, but once you get the hang of seeing what will work and what can't work, you can really clutter up a tiny house. And I think it looks so good with like just stuff on every square inch of the wall. I love it. And so this build turned out super cute. There's stuff everywhere. I tried to think of like the personality I thought the mom and the kids would have. Oh, by the way, I thought that was a cute touch. So I ended up putting shoes here right out of the front door, where the front door is, and I sized some of the shoes down. I figured that could be for like the children's shoes, and then that's the mom shoes right next to them. I thought that was just super cute. It's like a realistic touch. And I kind of thought like the mom was like a major neat freak, and so she says no shoes in the house and you have to put your shoes here by the front door so that you can just grab them on the way out. And yeah, I thought that was just a cute little touch. And so the personalities of this house I really thought about as I was building. The mom is very much into gardening, so once I do the backyard out here, you will definitely see that she's into gardening. There is planter boxes everywhere, and that's another reason why I place those really big yellow flowers everywhere, and there's trees everywhere and different like bushes. I did that purposely because I knew I wanted to build a house where like whoever lived here was really into gardening. And so this is basically like a gardener's house, I kind of thought. So it's very green on the inside. You'll see different house plants all throughout the build. Obviously, it's not functional house plants, like she won't be walking around watering the plants on the inside, but we can pretend. She will, however, have stuff to water on the outside. And now we're over in the kitchen. You might be wondering, where is the oven? And trust me guys, I did not notice that until I was almost done, or yeah, I don't know if I was done and just looking at the build, or I was almost done and I realized there is in fact no oven in this kitchen, and where in the world am I going to put it? So that was fun. Yeah, that was so much fun. You'll see me later in the build trying to figure out where to put it. It wasn't at the end of the world. I was able to figure it out. I had to change the door and delete some of the decor items and move some things around, but you know, it's all fine. It was fine. But we are over into like the little dining area now. There's only 3 Sims that live here, so I figured just a tiny table with some chairs is all that we need. And I love that table, by the way. That table is from Tiny Living Stuff, and it's not in the dining tables for some reason. You can't find it there, but if you just go to the different options when you're in build buy mode and you can filter the different packs, just filter it to Tiny Living and look through just the Tiny Living pack stuff, and you'll find it. And it's honestly the best table in the game. It is actually like considered like a bar table sort of thing. I think that's what they're called when it's like stool height. It's not a normal dining table. It's more for stools. But I think that I love that. I love the tables that are for stools, and I think it's called bar height if I'm not mistaken. So we are over into the master bedroom now. Yes, this is the master bedroom. Yes, I know it is very big. I almost didn't think I could put enough stuff in here to fill it up because it's so big, but this is the master bedroom. I know it's not the ideal size, but it's better than nothing. There is only a single sim living in here. I do think they updated it, so if you had 2 parents that lived here, they could totally both go in that bed at the same time. I think you just have to have one scooch over. I did not test that out though, so don't take my word. In my mind, it was for 1 sim. And that TV is also from Tiny Living, and it fit perfectly in that area right there. And it's also a radio at the same time, so you kind of get the best of both worlds with that. And then over here, I'm putting like a little alarm clock. I think that little toaster alarm clock is super cute. I love that. And there's the little bathroom. That is just for the master bedroom, I figured. I figured the Sims, you know, if you have some guests that come over and they need to go to the restroom, they can just walk through the master bedroom. Which I would hate if that is how my house was. But this is not real life. This is The Sims, and they don't care in The Sims. They do not care. And there's also a bathroom upstairs as well. So I guess you can pick if you want your Sim going upstairs or going to the master bedroom. Yeah, sometimes you have to sacrifice things to live in a tiny house. At least you have a sink in every bathroom and a sink in the kitchen. I feel like we're winning since we have 3 sinks in this house. Usually that is something that kind of takes a back burner. It might be forgotten about. In this case, the oven was forgotten about until the last minute, and then I fixed it. But typically it's the sinks, you know. If there's one in the kitchen, they don't need one in the bathroom. Or if there's one in the bathroom, they might not need one in the kitchen, you know. That sort of thing. I've built houses like that before. It's not ideal. So, yeah. This house actually is really good for it being only 64 tiles. I am proud of this house. I think it turned out super cute, and I love the colors of the house. It's very earthy, I feel like. The greens and the tans and the yellow here and there, it all works really well together, so I think it's super cute. As far as the Sims personalities go for this house, like I said, Mom's really into gardening. And she became a single mom just by losing her husband. He unfortunately passed away due to laughter. He literally laughed himself to death. Yeah. It was a sad moment for her and her boys, and so after that they decided to sell that old house that they used to live in with her husband and their father, and just leave that behind. And she said, you know what, we don't need a normal size house. I think we should downsize. And so they bought this house. They bought this tiny house. Yeah, I know, guys, that is not the best story I've ever come up with, but it's what I got for today. And so the boys, however, one of them is like super into sports, everything active, and then the other one is more into like music and playing the violin, playing the guitar, even though kids can't play guitar, but he wants to, and all things creative. Like he even enjoys drawing. And so they are very opposite for being twins, but they are still very close nonetheless. They might like totally different things, but they're still twins at the end of the day, and they do everything together. So as you can see, these bedrooms are very, very small. They are literally 2 by 3 tiles, and so it's a total of 6 tiles in each of the bedrooms. And then the bathroom, it's like almost the size of the poor children's bedrooms, to be honest. But that's just how it worked out. And it's, what do you call these bathrooms like this? It's not Jack and Jill. It's one of those where both kids have a door to the bathroom, and you can only get to the bathroom by going through these bedrooms. I can't remember the term for bathrooms like that, but that's how this one is. It's in between the 2 children's bedrooms, and both children have a door to the bathroom, so that is their bathroom to share. And so I guess what I was talking about just a few minutes ago downstairs in the master bedroom, people, if they want to use any bathroom, they have to go through someone's room. So that is really not ideal, and I don't love that. I wish that's not how it was, but you have to do what you have to do when it comes to tiny houses. They are very hard to finagle and make playable, but it can be done. So in both of the kids' rooms, I was able to fit the loft bed with a computer desk and a computer on the desk below it. And so they don't have many skill building items in their rooms besides the computer, if you even consider that a skill building item. I mean, you can build the video gaming skill. And I think you're able to like research things, but other than that, I don't think there's any other skills going on there. And in this bedroom, it had that extra corner piece, and I was able to fit the stuffed animal, and I believe I put the violin over there as well. I actually hate leaving a room with a little nook and cranny like that, but that's where the window was, and so I really didn't have a choice. If that window was not there and it didn't make like a huge difference outside if it was gone, then I definitely would have closed that little square off, that tile, but unfortunately, I just couldn't. I mean, that window's literally for the front yard, and plus, if I was to delete that window, that kid would have no window in their room. So I kind of had to leave it like that. It wasn't my first choice, but I couldn't figure out any other way to do that. So as you can see, there's also a cat that lives in this house, and believe it or not, that little area is playable. Like, your Sims can literally walk by it. I was surprised, to be honest, because that's a very tight space right there. But luckily, your Sim can in fact walk by it. And now I'm just putting some like little last touches of decor pieces in the bedrooms and that hallway there. And now we are over into the upstairs bathroom. Nothing special with either of the bathrooms. I mean, they really are just bathrooms. I'm trying to figure out where to put the toilet here. I wanted to make sense with the window, but I didn't have a choice of putting the shower anywhere else, and I didn't have a choice of putting the sink anywhere else, so I had to make the toilet work. And I think that is the final place that I end up putting the toilet, and I think it looks pretty good there. And this is the kids' bathroom, so I figured make it look like a kid's bathroom. There is no toilet paper holder. There is, in fact, toilet paper on the back of the toilet. I felt like that made sense. And then I grabbed the mirror that you could put stickers on. I love using that mirror in my kids' rooms or bathrooms because it's very realistic for kids to have like stickers on their mirrors, you know? And here we are back downstairs. The moment I realized I did not put an oven in this build, and I was very sad about it. I knew I had a lot of different ideas of where I could put the fridge, but it consisted of me deleting something, and I really liked that sliding glass door that was there. I think it fit really good there, but unfortunately I had to delete that sliding glass door and I put like a skinnier door there instead. And where that fridge is, that wall, yeah, if I deleted that wall, it deleted almost every single clutter piece that was just, it's not really snapped to anything because I had to lift it off the ground using a cheat and then just free place it on the desk. So every single decor that I had to do that downstairs, I had to put into the household inventory, or else it would have been deleted. Just by deleting that one wall piece. I cannot stand when that happens. But obviously I got through it. And it was worth it, honestly, just so that I could put that calendar on the fridge. That was the only reason I had to delete that wall. Oh, by the way, a little trick for you guys. If you don't have the option to download mods to download the red shelf, then there is a particular shelf in, I think it's high school years. It was that blue cube shelf that I had. If you take that out, you can place almost any object in there and use that as the red shelf instead. So that's a little tip that I figured out not too long ago. And as I was going through the catalog to look for any other decor pieces, I came across that like memorial picture frame from the new Life and Death pack, or Life or Death, whatever it's called. And I thought it was a cute idea. Since she lost her husband, he laughed himself to death. She could have a picture of him in there. And then that little memento box, I figured that was like just mementos of his, like old mementos, you know? And not his ashes, okay? I know what you guys were thinking. And no, it's not his ashes, it's just little mementos. And now that we are back in the kitchen and I figured out the place to put the oven, we are just going through the catalog and placing different like decor pieces. I'm glad that I actually found out there's no oven, because it gave me the opportunity to go back and find new like decorations to put in the kitchen, because I did not realize how pretty much bland the kitchen was. I mean, it looks decorated from afar. At first glance, it looked like I decorated it pretty good, but then when I came back, I realized there was no decorations on the back of the backsplash where the oven and the countertops are. There was nothing, and so it gave me the opportunity to put some other decor pieces. And I tried to make it true for like the single mom aspect and just a tiny house, and there are kids that live here, so I wanted to make sure it looked cluttered enough without being too cluttered. And I think the kitchen turned out cute, to be honest. And we are now over into the backyard. So right now I have a swing set, and I love the swing set. I think the swing sets are so cute. They're cuter than the monkey bars are. But I hate the fact that there is no skill involved with the swing sets. I really wish that they would have put the motor skill with the swing sets also. I don't know why they didn't, because you do need to have like motor skill to be on a swing set, right? I mean, it's not hard, but it's not easy either. I mean, you can fall off and you're able to jump off, and so they could have made it to where the Sims can jump off, and I think some of the children do, don't they? If not, then that would have been really cool for them to add, and then they could have added the motor skill. It would have made sense, but instead it is a useless item, to be honest. Any item that doesn't have a skill attached to it in The Sims is basically useless. It's basically there just for looks. And so if I ever put a swing set in, it's literally just for looks. But anyways, I guess that's enough ranting about swing sets in The Sims. I put a couple bikes out here as well. I love adding bikes to the front of my family builds. I think it's so cute. And it adds detail where, like, you know, there's obviously children that live in this house. So it's like a really family-oriented type of house. I just love the extra little details like that, you know. And then I also put a water balloon bucket in the backyard. And I also put I put a football and a soccer ball, I believe. And so it's very packed with like stuff that kids use, and so that was the goal. I want this house to seem like a young, happy family lives here, and I think I achieved that goal. I think it turned out super cute. And here is where I am adding some of the planter boxes. I wish I could have put more since she's an avid gardener, but I'm lucky that I was able to put 3, to be honest. 3 was kind of hard to squeeze in there. And then I will also place more like single pots around. And I also put a grill out here, and I love that grill. It's so cute. It's like bright yellow. It's so pretty. This house just screams spring to me. And then that outside patio table and chair set from Backyard Stuff is my absolute favorite yard table in the game. I think it's so cute. I wish they would have had a version of like the rectangular one with the umbrella above it, but there are circular tables with umbrellas, so it's not really the end of the world, but it would have been nice to have the rectangle one with an umbrella as well. And then I put a picnic basket and some flowers and a candle on there. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it, guys. This is the build. I think it turned out super cute, and I really hope you guys do as well. If you do, then please leave a like on this video. Any likes and or comments will help the algorithm kick my videos to other viewers, and that is always appreciated. And of course, if you have not already, then subscribe to my channel if you would like to stick around and watch some of the other speed builds that I do. I do lots of speed builds, lots of different kinds of builds. I have many builds planned for the future, and I also do a base game only save file for Newcrest. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing any of that, then subscribe, stick around for a while, and feel free to introduce yourself in the comments down below as well. I absolutely love interacting with all of you guys. And with all of that being said, I really hope you guys have an amazing New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and the best of luck to all of you in 2025. I will see you all in the next video very soon. It will be next year, obviously. A little dad joke in there. But yeah, I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.